Regulators have seized Silicon Valley Bank in the largest bank failure since the Great Recession.
Customers were rushing to take their money out.
Get the money out.
There are recent developments that concern a few banks.
We're back with some breaking news this morning. First Republic Bank has been taken over by federal regulators and sold to J.P. Morgan Chase. This comes after regulators spent the weekend trying to find a buyer for the bank.
Yeah, beginning today, 84 First Republic branches will reopen under J.P. Morgan Chase. This makes it now the third major bank to go under in less than 2 months. The First Republic closure has now become the second largest bank failure in U.S. history, surpassing Silicon Valley Bank.
West, where some of the world's leading money managers are warning the collapse of another American bank could lead to a credit crunch and an economic slowdown. Constrained lending as a result of stricter banking regulation could stifle credit to the U.S. economy at a critical time. We'll be getting an expert view on this in just a moment, but first here's my colleague Samira Hussein on the collapse of First Republic.
As of Monday, First Republic customers turning up at their bank are in fact customers of J.P. Morgan Chase. The signs above will soon change. First Republic had been under pressure since the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank 2 months earlier. Last week, First Republic revealed depositors had withdrawn $100 billion in the space of a few months. Customers feared their money was not safe. Investors became convinced it was about to fail.
Are there risks of more failures? This is the fourth lender here to collapse this year. Could more be on the brink?
Oh, I think there's absolute certainty of it. Just think about the fact that, people made a huge amount of money here, right? In other words, those people who have driven SVB out of business, who, benefited from the Signature failure, who benefited from the First Republic, slow die, they made a lot of money. And then now looking around to find another target, another bank, which is in a position where they're going to go under. And what they're looking for is, does the bank have a large portfolio of fixed rate mortgages? Does the bank have a huge amount of commercial real estate? Does the bank have, a huge gap between its real if you will, values and its published values? In other words, when you pick up the bank statement and you see it's got X, Y, Z in assets and ABC in equity, do they really have it? Or do they have a number that they're publishing which fails to recognize marking to market? So, they'll be out there. They're prowling. The antelopes are being prowled by the lions here, and the lions are going to find other ones to attack and bring down. So yes, there will be more bank failures.
Let's welcome Peter back in to fill us in. Peter, I didn't think I'd see you so soon, but another bank, another shoe drops. How many more? Do you have any prediction, and how bad is it going to get?
A lot more banks are going to fail. This is just the reality. This is the mess that the Fed made by keeping interest rates so low for so long. This is what enabled the banks to load up on all this low-yielding, overpriced long-term debt, treasuries, mortgages. And government regulators actually pushed the banks into these securities with favorable accounting treatment for government securities or anything guaranteed by the U.S. government. The problem is that we shouldn't even have an FDIC. You're talking about how they might want to tweak the coverage. How about abolishing the FDIC and let the free market handle banking? We'd have a much more solid banking system if depositors knew that their deposits could be lost at a bank that was reckless and took a lot of risks. And then those banks would be under competitive pressures not to take those kind of risks. There's no other industry that's like that. The government doesn't guarantee your money anyplace else. So why should they guarantee it if you put it in a bank?
Warning the government is deploying emergency measures to stop a potential banking crisis, including the takeover of another regional bank, Signature Bank of New York, just 2 days after regulators shut down Silicon Valley Bank, the second largest bank failure in U.S. history.
I think that without this, there could have been some serious runs on other banks because there would have been a loss of confidence throughout the whole system.
The Federal Reserve last night announced clients at both banks will get access to all their funds when branches open today, not just the $250,000 insured by the FDIC. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen insists this is not a bailout because the funds are coming from a pool of money paid into by Wall Street, different than the taxpayer-funded bailouts of 2008.
We're going to do some business tonight. Because business is really warfare. What's about to happen? This week it came out in the news that in 2016, all the major banks are in trouble. It started with J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. What makes a bank in trouble? When the value of the paper that they have begins to lose its value, then the bank is in serious trouble. And so are we who have our money in the bank.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Sister Yatir Mackey here, the First Lady of Our Money Network. So, the warning has gone forth. Whether you have heard it from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan or Good Day LA, ABC, BBC, or NBC News, Yahoo Finance and Big Bo, or Peter Schiff. Or maybe you have heard it from us, the New Millennium Bankers of Our Money Network. Either way, the next move is on you. Now that you know the truth and what's to come, you have the opportunity to best position yourself and your family against the fall of the dollar and this failing economy. Join us tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Project Exodus 10,000 event to learn how to prepare for tomorrow today. Can't make it tonight? No worries. We're running the play every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Zoom. Zoom in at www.fardmoney.com.
All right, greetings everyone. How's everyone doing? Glad that you could make it to this New Millennium Bankers Project Exodus. That's tonight though. Glad that you could make it to this New Millennium Bankers Crypto Morning broadcast that we strive to do every morning, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, family. And today is no exception. We are following up. This is the sequel to what we did yesterday as promised. We are bringing to you more news coming out of El Salvador, since El Salvador is the first country on the planet, in the world, to make Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, legal tender. So we're going to see how this move by their president has affected their economy, how the citizens are taking it of El Salvador 2 years later. We're going to get into that. But before we get into that, let's take a brief look at the cryptocurrency market. The cryptocurrency market cap is over 1 trillion still. However, it is an increase into the crypto market by 1.49% over the last day. Over the last day has went into the market. Bitcoin is trading at 26,500. Bitcoin over the last 24 hours is up 1.5%. Ethereum is trading for over 1,600, back up over 1,600 over the last 24 hours. It's up 1.62%. Binance is trading for $212, and over the last 24 hours, it's up 0.68%. And then we take a look at the G999 coin market cap. Say we are up 0.22%, and our coin is over a half a tenth of a penny. All right, over a half a tenth of a penny. All right, so let's get into the article, family, because this is very educational, and I want y'all to see that how this country is thriving, because the president decided to go with Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, and he denied and rejected a $2 billion loan from the IMF. When you take those loans from the IMF, the World Bank, and the Federal Reserve, they put interest on those loans. So the IMF whole idea was to enslave the El Salvador's government economy forever. That's their goal. All right. But the president didn't go with that. He said he going with Bitcoin, and he called a lot of flack behind it, but he stood his ground. So let's see what happened 2 years after. 2 years after adopting Bitcoin as legal tender, El Salvador has undergone a massive transformation. All right. This article was released on September the 8th, and it's coming from Bitcoin Beach. All right. 2 years have passed since El Salvador made history by becoming the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. In that short span, the nation has undergone remarkable changes and improvement. While some might consider it a mere coincidence, the most possible explanation lies in the profound transformation initiated by the country, with Bitcoin at the heart of its rebranding and a notable shift in attitude among its citizens. This article explores the impact of Bitcoin's legal tender status on El Salvador's development, the challenges it has faced, and the broader implications of this groundbreaking decision. The challenges and public perception. El Salvador's history has been marked by centuries of adversity and struggle, but its current generation of citizens is determined to break free from that dark past. New leaders have emerged with a resolve, commitment to improve their country. This newfound resolve has been instrumental in the progress witnessed in El Salvador, triggered by the decision to embrace Bitcoin as legal tender. Despite the improvements brought about by Bitcoin, a recent poll revealed that El Salvador citizens ranked the Bitcoin law as the lowest achievement of this new president, his government. This does not necessarily indicate disapproval, but underscores the fact that other pressing issues have a more direct impact on their daily lives. This realization aligns with a fundamental lesson from Bitcoin, that achieving meaningful change requires hard work, dedication, and a focus on the long term rather than shortcuts. Many have wondered out loud if the Bitcoin project would fail if the president were not able to achieve a second term or after he decides to leave the presidency. Critics believe Bitcoin would fail if his leadership was not driving the economy agenda. However, what many fail to realize is that the country did not change because of the president alone, but because he had the support of the people who gave him a mandate to transform the country, and because he assembled a team of competent leaders who are happy to take the relay baton once their time comes. Tangible improvements. Choosing to adopt Bitcoin was not easy for El Salvador, especially in the face of the pressure from the IMF. Why should they have pressure from the IMF? And the United States government. Y'all better see the connection. And I want y'all to see this now. When it's saying the IMF and the United States government, that means that's tied together. However, the United States government is ran by the Federal Reserve. I hope y'all want to know that. I hope y'all know this now. The Federal Reserve, the Central Bank of America, runs the government. So it just said the United States government, but the United States government is actually the Federal Reserve and the ones who run that. All right, that's why I say the IMF, because the IMF is only an extension of the Federal Reserve. It's only an extension, pretty much the same. All right, it's just what the Federal Reserve does locally in America, the IMF does it globally, put countries in debt. And the Federal Reserve also puts citizens in debt because they charge us taxes for everything, and we don't really never get anything from them. and they keep saying we're paying down a debt that will never be paid. It has reached a number that will never be resolved. It will never be paid off. So the question got to come, why are we still paying taxes if it's clear that the debt will never be paid off? That will let you know it's a scam. It's Ford Money Network, family. We're going to give it to you raw and uncut. We're going to speak blunt. We're going to speak straight words. The Federal Reserve, this is a scam. Paying taxes, all that is a scam, right? You can't pay a $31, $32 trillion debt. You can't pay that with taxes. And we only pay the interest on it. This is how the banks got debt set up. All right. But anyway, let's move forward. Especially in the face pressure from the IMF, the United States government, and various financial entities threaten. Look at this. Look how they threaten. This man wants. So listen, I want y'all to see this. So they threaten to halt foreign aid and loans. So they don't want the El Salvador people to thrive because this president seen a new way to go. And then they mad because they didn't take their money from the IMF. So they saying that, look, they threaten them with a halt for foreign aid and loans. This is the West. This is a dictator regime. These people are tyrants. That's why they can't stay around. But don't worry. You just keep living. You're going to see the United States government fall and never come back again. Immediately after the adoption, the country's bonds were downgraded to junk bonds with no demand. However, El Salvador has since fulfilled its bond obligations and seen its bonds become one of the most promising investments. While these financial maneuvers may not directly impact the average Salvadorian, other developments certainly do. The country has experienced a boom in tourism, increased real estate activity, and significant infrastructure upgrades, including new roads, airport enhancements, and the establishment of a new ferry route to Costa Rica. These tangible improvements have not only enhanced the country's attractiveness, but also provided opportunities for its citizens. El Salvador's introduction of its digital assets law, favorable tax incentive for tech companies, and a landmark agreement with Google have motivated the company to base some of its cloud services in the country. This move signifies growing confidence in El Salvador's business environment and its potential as a Latin American tech hub. Another exciting development on the Bitcoin front is the entry of volcano energy in the mining arena. This forward-thinking company has invested a staggering $1 billion to set up a mining operation that taps into wind and solar power. Furthermore, they plan to harness the volcanic energy of the country for Bitcoin mining, utilizing its geothermal potential. This initiative not only showcases El Salvador's commitment to sustainable Bitcoin mining, but also attracts significant foreign capital to the country. In a move that underlines El Salvador's growing importance in the global financial ecosystem, both FedEx and Binance have sought out regulatory stability to set up their exchanges and operate within the country. This signifies a recognition of El Salvador's dedication of fostering a supportive business environment. Security transformation. Perhaps the most fundamental achievement has been the government's success in addressing the country's security issues. El Salvador, once the worst country in terms of murders per capita, has now become the safest in the Americans. This transformation, although met with criticism and accusations of dictatorship, has significantly improved the daily lives and human rights of Salvadorians. These accomplishments have resulted in a widespread public approval of the president and his government, who now hold the highest approval ratings in the world. This support may translate into a second presidential term in a strengthened legislation assembly majority crucial for passing laws, including those related to Bitcoin. So look at El Salvador's president. He got 91% approval rate. And the closest person to him is Mexico president at 62%. Joe Biden way down here. Here's Joe Biden down here. I don't know why Joe Biden man at the bottom. The United States has also shifted its stance upon a new ambassador who has given a favorable review of El Salvador, marking a notable change in its relationship with the country after years of criticism. While this move may be far from American acceptance of El Salvador's Bitcoin law, it signals some sense of tolerance as the United States re-embraces El Salvador as a trusted partner. It significantly reinforces the government's security and economic development efforts as local opportunities contain illegal immigration. Education and incentives. Okay, so we read about that yesterday, my first Bitcoin. So we went over that yesterday. So let's go to the conclusion. While the average Salvadorian may still need to start using Bitcoin in daily transaction and work ethic intrinsic to Bitcoin, proof of work have reshaped the country's trajectory. El Salvador remains the only nation where Bitcoin is legal tender, making it an attractive destination for companies seeking to develop their Bitcoin-based businesses. As El Salvador continues its journey as a developing economy, the hard choices made in the past 2 years have laid a solid foundation for a brighter future. The world watches with keen interest, and one fact remains undeniable. El Salvador is Bitcoin country, and this Bitcoin revolution is here to stay. So, family, I want to say this because I know a lot of y'all get spooked when we talk about crypto, and a lot of people think that, like you just got to live in the United States. El Salvador would take any one of us and give us citizenship if we take them as 2 or 3 Bitcoin and we can take them. And they will give us citizenship rights. They will make us a full citizen over there if we take it. So they like crypto. So these countries that like the United States that don't want to like crypto, want to strict this or strict this, but we ain't got to. We ain't got to stay here, family. You might as well start considering staying somewhere else. You might as well consider that. So this shows how this country is thriving because it's doing something new. It's doing something outside of the traditional way. What would it be like if El Salvador would have took that $2 billion from the IMF? The country would be more in debt. They would have to probably raise taxes and all of that debt from the IMF with all those high interests and all that. It ain't good. It ain't good. And if you don't pay the debt off fast, they try to enslave you forever. So, family, take this out, study this. Just know that the world is going digital. The world is going gold. All right. So you need to get in front of this, as you know. But hey, listen, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax papyrus, tax expert. I'm not a financial guy out of this world, which is all based on garbage. All right. How you going to, listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to drive this point home until everybody get it clear. If America has the worst banking system in the world, if America has the most debt in the world, if America has the biggest homeless problem in the world, if America has the most crime in the world, if these presidents, they send more aid to foreign countries than they do for their own country. Now, if a person goes through some type of class or school or college or university and they come out saying that they are a licensed financial advisor, who the hell you think they got it from? Like, how can you a financial advisor, but you come out of college with this so-called certificate and you looking for a job? But these are the people that we want to listen to. These are the people that us want to give credit to because America make us think that somebody with a stinking certificate A piece of paper don't mean nothing. They ain't did nothing. They ain't helped nothing develop, right? They ain't helped nothing develop. You taking their advice. You think they're a credible person. This is a credible research. This man is bought and paid for by the enemy. They know how it go. The level of your the base of your knowledge. Whoever gives you the circumference of your knowledge, or the diameter of your knowledge, gives you the circumference of your activity. So a person with a financial license in America, if they don't do something outside of the traditional way, like El Salvador did, they will never expand or never go outside of what they think finances is. See, a financial advisor would have told the president of El Salvador, take the loan. Don't do Bitcoin. Take the loan. That's what he would have told him. And that country will be $2 billion in debt plus interest. Plus interest. Right now they are thriving and they got manageable debt. So they don't have to overtax their citizens. They don't have to do nothing like this. So, but I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a free black man in America that can go to sleep when I want to go to sleep, wake up when I want to wake up, spend time with my family when I feel like it, when I please. I don't have to ask nobody about it. I can leave my house when I want to, come back home when I want to. I can take my family while I can do all of this. I can travel as I please, right? And I don't have to ask nobody, can I do this? All right, I just want y'all to wrap that, just keep that in your mind. But I'm not a legal financial advisor. I'm not a legal CPA, nor do I want to be. I'm a real wealth builder. I'm a real entrepreneur. So we're just going to show you how to get free. So you can listen at the traditional folks and stay broke, slow, work till you die, get you some good credit, and go in debt and pass that debt on to your children who pass on their children, and then they lose the house and eventually. So everything you put into it is gone anyway. All right. We're going to show you how to build generational wealth. We're going to show you how to get in front of a wave so you can get rich. Well, that's what we're going to show you. Financial advisors would never, ever direct you to anything like that. So with that being said, family, we have Project Exodus 10,000 event going on tonight. As you heard my wife in the video say, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a passive income masterclass. It's a masterclass. All right. So if you want to learn the secrets of the rich, the secrets of the wealthy, then you want to get that link to somebody, from somebody. You want to be on Zoom and make yourself available tonight at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And you want to be on there. You want to get your pen and pad out. You want to take questions and you want to ask. And you want to ask questions and take notes so you can ask the proper questions so you can get the best understanding so you can move fast. Money loves speed. Quit thinking that money don't love speed, and quit letting people tell you don't get rich quick. Well, that's the only way to get rich. You ain't gonna be here long enough to get rich slow, right? And then, like I said before, if I'm in my 40s and I got rich this year, was that fast or was that slow? I've been here for 40 years. If a person been here for 30 years and then by the time they 35, they get rich, we gonna say that was fast. And they've been here for 30 years. They 35 years old. That's 30 years. So it took them 30 years to learn the science and the secrets and be put in a position or get into a system that brought them riches. But they had to understand some fundamental principles. It's fundamental principle. Fundamental principle number one in getting rich is what? Pay yourself first all the time. Every time you get paid, a portion of that, you got to save for yourself. You got to pay yourself first. And it got to go into something that will hold its value or appreciated value. You got to do it every month, right? Really, every paycheck. If you live paycheck to paycheck, I wouldn't care if it was $5. $10 don't matter. A portion of it got to go to you. You got to hold it. This will up the sign. This will up your activity. This will up your wealth attraction. because you're going to be acting as the wealthy do, the rich do. You think I don't save something every month? We tell you making all the money. You think I ain't putting nothing back, stacking? Not in cash. Not in cash. Can't hold it in cash. So we definitely ain't holding nothing in cash. But you thinking we making this money, we ain't putting nothing to the side? Okay. Pay yourself first. Got to do it all the time. I'm thinking about doing it again this month. I already did it. Oh, 20-some thousand, pay myself first, right? That's shooting off passive income. And I'm thinking about doing it again Saturday, 16th, Friday night, rather. Thinking about putting some more to the side. I mean, I want to go do something else, but then something is saying, oh, no, put it here, put it here, put it here. So I'm in between. These next level problems, though. Next level problem. Next level problem. So with that being said, family, we want to thank y'all for tuning in, but we'll see y'all on the other side of money, hopefully. We out of here, family.
How many of you like to be more successful?
Easy switch from crypto to fiat to non-regulated and regulated.